X1 Motorsports Racing here. Little update on the Traxxas Sportec 3.0 chassis. This is, if I didn't say it in the first one, this is the longer of the four-wheel drive chassis. I have converted it to, it's two-wheel drive. There's no, there's the focus, no front axles anymore. I have bought and put in the Traxxas stub front axles right here, part number 10554. These are for the Sportec. Put those axle stubs in and bolted my tires up to them. These are the, I've shown before, they're pin style 1.9 rims. So they do fit and clear, and with full steer. And it's a little bound up right now. It moves like so. It needs adjusting. The track it's towed out on both sides, so I gotta adjust the steering links, replace the rear tops. My goal on this is it's gonna get rear aluminum hubs on it for strength. It's gonna get a few, like this cover I think I'm gonna replace with aluminum, and this here just to add a little rigidity to the chassis itself. And it's gonna be the same way on, I'm trying to get a 2.2 or 2.0 chassis set up, and I have a Traxxas Sportec drift chassis coming, which they're built a little different. They have more of a actual car self, lower and upper control arm, and they have more steering in the front, of course, for drifting. But I'm gonna see if one, I can get either the stock set up like these to fit on there, or if I can limit that it doesn't have the whole drifting setup. So like I don't need it. I don't need the tire to be 90 degrees to the, I need to just turn like a race car would. I don't need it to be like clear out here and going around a corner. I mean, yeah, drifting's cool, but not on dirt. You don't need that. And that's what my plan is, to run these on dirt. If not, it's gonna be slick tile floor. I do have to get I'm gonna put a spool in the rear end of this locker, so both wheels will spin. Right now, yes, they do spin. That does spin both ways. But yeah, it doesn't. It's limited slip. It spins. If this tire's locked, that tire will still spin. I don't want that. I want it so both tires will spin same time. Thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna use the Titan or the BLS setup in this. We'll figure that out here in a bit. Thinking BSL because that's the most common setup now. I mean, you can buy the Titan setup in the XL5 or whatever, But I mean, even a Millennium and a BSL, it would be the power. I mean, yeah, maybe aluminum rear shock and aluminum front shock towers, and I'm gonna get different shocks because these things are itty bitty. Like, they're small. I think aluminum body shocks or something in there would give us more. You need the adjustability still, even though you're gonna be banging, and it's racing and banging. What it is, you can race. You can get out there and try to build a full aluminum body and figure out how to make an H-frame that bolts to this chassis and come up so the body mounts to it with the rigidity, and like figure out a way to mount it to the front here, or here. Like, I need to figure out a little bulkhead or something that can bolt using those stock holes and even the stock ones underneath. So I don't know, but yeah, like it's got those little gray tabs are for the suspension arm. Thinking aluminum there, and even on the back one, do aluminum. Give it, like I said, some strength. But like I said, on the drift ones, it's a tubular lure control arm on the front. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm thinking I should be able to use the stock four-wheel drive steering, because it still mounts up with a single screw. So I might be able to use that style on the other Fortec two-wheel drive. That's not the 2.0 that I'm gonna make two-wheel drive. See if it works. I'm thinking maybe aluminum hubs on the front too, but I still want plastic because I want something that's gonna give. I don't want to be so rock hard that it's gonna break like everything else. So I figured I'd build in weak points, like the bell crank here, this part, this that actually does steering. You can go aluminum, but you make this all strong for steering. You need a weak point. It's gonna break somewhere when you get hit, or you get twisted and you get hit in the wheel or something. So my thinking is aluminum hubs, the metal links. Okay, now it breaks there, but it's strong here. Plastic A-arms, so if the A-arm breaks, the shock will still hold it in place, and you got this metal upper link, so that way you have the some strength, and you got a weak point. Not 100% sure. Like I said, rear, like I said, upper metal links, a beefy shock tower, so like it holds the shock and still have a weak point down at the bottom. And you get the metal hubs. Like I said, these are pin style hex or pin style 1/9 rims. Like, so I don't have the Traxxas Vortex, the rotor style. See that pin in there, but then you can put a hex tire on it, 12mm hex rim or whatever on it. You eliminate these, and those rims just sit on the pin that these sit on. So my concept there is, I had these rims. I'm gonna see, like, they're 5 lugs, they're wagon wheel. I mean, black. Just a basic build. No, you can use all the color aluminum you want, so the way you kind of got the razzle dazzle to say, the sparkliness. I mean, my concept, if you look up 1/12 and 1/18 scale bangers, they're painted up and it's called sign written. They're very detailed, which is cool. I love it. That's what I love about that whole thing, is they put time into their bodies, build them. Yes, you're destroying it, but it's fun. Like, build, run, destroy, fix, repeat. And that's the whole concept, is just to get the repeat. Like, I'm not looking for everybody to build new bodies every time. If you have a few bodies as spares, that's awesome. So, but I gotta figure out how to, like I said, mount the cage to this plastic chassis. I'm thinking maybe drill a hole here, somewhere here. Maybe get rid of the receiver box and just put everything on the chassis, because I really don't need that. It would be easier to get at everything. But like I said, this is the 3.0, so it's got more room for batteries, and then it's got the, I bought this one used, so it's got this big old foam in there, and got the, so your battery goes up in there, and but we'll see. Get it built, get the other ones built, and just see what happens. I'm leaving this center drive shaft in. I kind of get thinking that more as a brace that runs the length of the chassis, so if the chassis does break, it's not going to come apart, because it floats there, and it's linked into there, links in the front. I mean, yes, it does still turn. The front differential, but it's not hooked to the front wheel, so it's just, might be sapping a little power, but I mean, it's not that much. There's no way. So my concept is see what happens and run it. Like I said, that's why this is the 3.0 chassis, because the wheelbase is longer. The 2 is a little bit smaller, so I'm thinking the wheelbase would be like here. It's not much. I have a chassis over there, I just don't have all the goodies to go on at the front, but I am picking up, like I said, got another one coming. And then you have the drift setup, which is, it's already 2-wheel drive, and it's got the front setup, new setup. Like I said, it has way more steering angle in it than these. See if I can limit that a little bit so it's not as crazy, but I don't know. If it does have the crazy, it might be a little different to run. I don't know. Especially with actual rubber tires instead of the drift tires on it, because they run like a solid plastic tire, which I don't see how you get any kind of traction with a solid plastic tire all the way around, especially on a drift car. You'd figure you want rubber for grip, and then I also get smoke going. But I think the RC version of drifting is just precision and being skilled at drifting around the corners and stuff. It's not about the smoke like a actual drift car. So, but yeah, this is what I've done so far. I'm gonna be working a little more here on it. May post a video. I'll keep you everybody up to date. Like, follow, subscribe here on YouTube. Follow Traxxas Motorsports. On Facebook, the main group, and then I also got groups about the Vortex and those guys up there. I do think I am going to downsize on the Slash stuff and just build two. I'm going to build a Derby chassis and maybe build a banger chassis. I think I'm going to stick with the 4-wheel drive. I think I'm going to sell all my 2-wheel drive stuff. So, but I don't know yet. Well, see how I go. So, alright. That's enough of me waffling on, as the English say. So, rock and roll. Let's do this.